Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and today we're getting hands-on with the PS5's brand new Pro controller from SCUF called the Omega, and this could be my favourite one yet. So it launches today and it is an officially licensed PlayStation controller with adjustable instant triggers, mappable rear paddles, TMR thumbsticks so no more stick drift, a Pro grip and a mobile app to customise it all. I've dropped a link and a discount code down below if you want to check it out, otherwise let me show you what this thing can do. So first up, we've got the box and the packaging, and because this is SCUF's first officially licensed PS5 controller, it's awesome to see it's got the full-on PlayStation branding and logos. It instantly looks like a proper PS5 or PS5 Pro controller that you'd see on the shelves. Then, if we slide the sleeve off, we can open up the inner box to see what's inside. Okay, so it's great to see that it does come with a hard carry case, which is very useful for storing it away. And then under that we have the safety information booklet and this little accessories box. And inside this it includes a braided USB-C cable for charging it, and a few spare thumbsticks too. Then inside the carry case there's another little box here that contains some blanking plates that I will show you later, and a USB dongle. But the moment that we've all been waiting for, let's take a closer look at this new controller. And on first impressions, this looks really nice. I love how it sort of still looks like a DualSense controller with the shape and the layout, but then it has a bit of a squared off design to give it quite a unique look. It's kind of like if the Envision Pro and a DualSense had a baby, this is what you'd expect to see. Now the colour that I've got here is called Smoke, which has this nice translucent crystal design, which means you can see through to the controller's internals. Now they also have about 8 different designs to pick from, but this is my favourite so far, although the black one is proper clean as well. But what's great is these covers are magnetic, so when SCUF starts selling separate plates in the future, you can swap these out to a different colour or design. As for the comfort, because let's be honest, that's what it's all about, this feels really nice in the hands. It feels a little chunkier than a normal DualSense controller, but it definitely feels lighter than one, and I think that's mainly down to the fact it does not have a vibration motor. Also, as it's got this nice rubbery grip around the back, it already feels better than both the DualSense and the Edge controllers in my opinion. And then because this is officially licensed, we get the actual PlayStation logos on this one, so no more blanked out buttons. Like here in the middle, there's the PlayStation button for powering it on or jump into the home screen, and the buttons on the right side have the actual triangle, circle, X and square icons, which is great to see. Then there's a SCUF logo down here at the bottom, an Omega one here on the right hand side, and the same little icons on the buttons either side of the touchpad like you'd normally see on the DualSense. Now one really cool thing about this is the buttons across the front aren't just rubbery like we normally get. These are mechanical instant buttons, and that means when you press them, whether that's the D-pad on the left side or the icons on the right, these give a really satisfying instant click. Literally there is no delay at all when you press them. As for the thumbsticks, fortunately these are using the new TMR thumbsticks, so that should almost eliminate stick drift altogether, and that's something I know a few of you have had with the normal DualSense controllers. So TMR is actually a step up from Hall effect sticks, as they still feel like a normal stick, but they have increased durability, less wear on the parts, and are far more accurate. You can also swap out the sticks themselves by simply popping the cover off and pulling the thumbsticks out, then just push the new ones in. Perfect if you want to swap between normal or concave depending on your preference. But I've got to say the biggest feature for me with this new controller is without doubt the new adjustable triggers. Because if you follow me for a while, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of both the SCUF Reflex for the instant mouse-like triggers, and the DualSense Edge controller because you can adjust them, but the instant triggers aren't instant enough. Well, with this new one, you can either use them in full travel mode like this, so it makes use of the full travel of the triggers themselves, or by flicking the switch under the trigger, you can turn it into an instant response. And this really is instant. It's literally become a mouse-like click very similar to the Reflex controller. Now the button underneath is a little fiddly to get to, but it's not like you're going to be swapping back and forth all of the time. This does mean though that you can use the same controller for playing games like GT7 or Forza Horizon on the PS5 where you need the full travel for accelerating and braking, but then you can switch this over to the instant mode for those FPS games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever game you're playing. Now I think the biggest advantage of this controller over the Reflex is you don't need to choose whether you want the instant or normal at the time of buying, because just like with the Edge controller you can swap between that on the same controller. There's also of course the LB and RB buttons across the top that are instant response as well, so they feel really nice when you click them. I would say the only thing missing with this though is there is no adaptive trigger, so when you pull the trigger there is no resistance at all like you have on a normal DualSense. Okay, then if we flip this around, I can show you what we get on the back of this controller. So one thing I really like about SCUF is they do normally give us 4 rear paddles instead of just 2, and they are all mappable to whatever you want to use them with. As I mentioned earlier though, we do of course have the Pro grip back here, so it's super grippy and far nicer than what we have on normal controllers. But then we also get these 4 paddles to use. Firstly, holding and pressing them now, they are easy to reach, easy to press, and feel nice and firm. Now the outer 2 are permanent paddles, so these will always be on the controller, whereas the inner 2, well, you can actually remove these and then use one of the blanking plates to cover them. Now personally, I always use 4 when I'm playing, but it's great to see that you can remove them if you need to. But like with any rear paddles, the biggest advantage here is you can map these to any other button on your controller. So you could use these for jumping or reloading, marking up enemies, and they can all be done without needing to press the buttons on the front of the controller. Now normally with these sort of paddles you need to use some kind of weird combo button press in order to map them, but with this controller you can do all of that just by using the mobile app. I will show you this in a minute though, and it is pretty impressive. Now just quickly going back to the different buttons, there are some extra buttons on here as well that you wouldn't normally see on a PS5 controller. So on the side here we've got these S buttons, and they are called S1 or S2. So these can be mapped just like the rear buttons to any other button, so if the 4 rear paddles weren't enough, well you've now got 6 on the go. Oh, and just before I forget, there is a gyro built into this controller. I didn't find this in the paperwork, but I did test this out and can confirm it definitely works. Then across the bottom there are 5 programmable buttons. So on the PS5, 3 of these are predefined. You've got a mute button in the middle for your headset mic, as well as a volume up and volume down for your game sound. Now that's actually really useful if you've got a headset plugged in and you cannot control it from the headset itself. But just to make you aware, this controller does not have an inbuilt mic or an inbuilt speaker. But then we've also got 2 more buttons called G1 and G5. And you can map these to something else on your PS5. And then if you're on PC, this can actually integrate with the Elgato Stream Deck. So you can literally use this to create macros and shortcuts, which is seriously impressive. So as this controller can be used with PS5, PC and mobile, it can be fully customized in the new SCUF app. And that means everything that we've gone over so far today can be done in here. You can adjust the triggers and their dead zones. The thumbsticks have presets for how responsive they are, as well as the curve you want to use. There's a little RGB strip across the bottom of the controller, and this can be changed if you're on PC, but not for PS5. The rear paddles can be remapped and reassigned to something else. And if you're on PC, you can change pretty much everything else in here if you wanted to do so. That includes the S1 or the S2, the G buttons across the bottom. Literally every button other than the PlayStation and the main menu buttons can be messed around with. And what's great is once you've saved your settings, you can assign them to a profile. This profile can then be swapped between by pressing the little button on the front. That is perfect if you have different profiles for different games that you play. Now setting up and using it on the PS5 or PC or mobile is pretty straightforward. The first thing you need to do is remove the faceplate and check the little switch is set to the PS5 or PC. Then the other switch is either set to wireless, wired or Bluetooth. Wired is pretty obvious, Bluetooth is your mobile devices, and the Wi-Fi icon is what you'll use on the PS5. This then uses the provided USB dongle to connect to your PS5. Of course, it's a bit of a shame it doesn't use the native connection on the PS5, but once you've plugged it into the back, you'll kind of forget that it's even there and you're getting a better, faster connection. So here I'm using it wired on the PS5 and it works exactly as you would expect. Then if I switch it over to the wireless option, it is working absolutely perfectly. It's also showing up on the PS5 and it's even got the current battery state so you know exactly when to charge it. And when it does come to charging it, this does come with a braided USB-C cable that you just plug into the top and you're good to go. And in case you wondered, no, this will not work with the official charging dock as there are no pins across the bottom, so it physically won't fit or connect to the dock. There's also this little adapter for locking the charging cable into place, and this means it won't accidentally fall out if you're playing competitively or on PC. Now out of the box, I think this controller looks pretty decent, and when you buy it, you would obviously choose the colour that you want first. However, SCUF have said they will be selling customization kits separately, so you can change things like the faceplate, touchpad, thumbsticks, and even the individual buttons, so plenty of options to fully customize it. So I've already covered there are no adaptive triggers and there's no vibration motor, but I honestly don't think that those are deal breakers for a pro controller like this. The only real feature that is missing is you cannot turn the PS5 on from the controller. You need to manually turn on the PS5 first, then power on your controller for it to connect. I do believe this is the same for other officially licensed controllers, but it is a shame to see. Otherwise, it does everything else I would want from a controller like this. But of course, is it worth it? Well, if you want a pro controller for the PS5 that has adjustable triggers, 4 rear mappable buttons, and an app to customize it all, I think this is a decent controller. Plus, the fact that it's officially PlayStation branded is a really nice touch. Price-wise, this is going to launch at just under £210 or $220, so it is not cheap by any means, but it is far cheaper than a Reflex for the same build. But let me know what you guys think, and if you do decide to go ahead and grab one, I have put a link and a discount code below in the description. Now drop a nice PS5 Pro controller in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out this video next. Well, thanks for watching, please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.